The elections in the state of Meghalaya is just around the corner, and when we speak of elections, the focus is on the Chief Electoral Officer's office and his team. I'm standing right outside his office to find out what's been going on. We'll talk about security arrangements, we'll talk about what other prep work has been happening so far. And let me remind our viewers that today is also the last day of rallying and campaigning here in the state. So let's go inside and find out from the man himself. Mr. 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗓, first of all, welcome to Northeast Live.
Thank you very much.
My first question to you is, let's start with the facts and figures. If you could tell us how many candidates are contesting the elections this time, the number of voters, including first-time voters, of course, and we'll also talk a little bit about the polling stations, etc.
Right. So at the very outset, as we know that Meghalaya is going to go to the polls on the 27th of February, that's on Monday. So in terms of candidates, this time we have 369 candidates. We have 333 male candidates, and we have 36 female candidates. So this time, of course, AC, which is Soyong, it will not go to the polls because polls have been adjourned due to the death of one of the contesting candidates. So we will now have polling in 59 ACs out of 60. So because of that, right now the total poll going electorate will be about 21,40,000 plus. Earlier on it was about 21,75,000 plus. But because of one AC not going to the polls because of the adjournment, so we'll have 21,40,000 plus electorate going to the polls. So as you know, today the polling parties are starting to move, and what we call P1, P-2 today. So 2 days before the polling. So we have 974 polling parties who will be going to the respective polling stations today, and they've already started moving. In Shillong, as you know, in the polo ground, we have from about 14 constituencies polling parties going, and another about 400 plus in Tura, covering 11 constituencies. And across the state, after the movement of these 974 today, tomorrow is the P1. That means 1 day prior to the poll, and we have about 2,445 polling parties who will be moving tomorrow. So that makes a total of 3,419 polling stations. So as of now, we have 3,419 polling stations, as against the original figure of 3,482. Yeah. So apart from that, you wanted to know on the special arrangements?
Yes, let's talk a little bit, because obviously it's the election time. The obvious question is safety and security. So what arrangements have been made on that front?
Right. So we have 119 companies, CAPF companies, that have been deployed here in our state. 40 companies we had initially received much prior to the poll date, and immediately after Tripura elections, we had another 79 companies which were inducted here in our state. So now all 119 have been deployed all across the state, and quite a few of them are being deployed at the strong rooms to guard the CAPF. And as you know, as per the protocol, the innermost cordon has to be always guarded by the CAPF. Then you have the state police and so on and so forth. I mean, in terms of guarding the strong rooms in the poll EVMs. Now, regarding the vulnerability and the criticality, we have about 600 plus of the vulnerable polling stations, and a little touching about 300 critical, and both critical and vulnerable we have about 84 or so. So in terms of the security provision, all arrangements are in place, and Meghalaya, as you know, generally by and large is a peaceful state in respect of polls.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of security arrangements, I want you to dwell us a little bit on the border areas, especially post the Mukro firing incident.
So both at the district level, at the level of the DCs and the SPs, and also at the level of the state government, and even at the level of the CEO, we've had many meetings with our Assam counterparts. At the level of the DCs and the SPs, of course, consultative process have been going on since the month of December. And all DCs and all SPs have been in regular touch with each other. At the level of the state government, at the level of the Chief Secretary and the DGP also, there have been many meetings, and 2 physical meetings also took place, one in Guwahati and also by VC also, and meetings have taken place with both Assam as well as, Meghalaya counterparts, Chief Secretary level. And I myself, I just visited Mukro just day before yesterday.
Alright.
I had gone to 𝗓𝗏𝗡𝗃 Hills and I had reviewed the preparations and the security scenario there. And things look to be in control. And whatever issues that we have in the border areas in other parts of the state, they are also being dealt with. Some issues in Ribhoi also. There also from the Chief Secretary, a letter has been written to the Assam counterpart. And also from my side, I've been in touch with the CEO of Assam. And the DC also has been in touch with the counterpart DC as well as SP. So to ensure that there will be no restriction on the exercise of the on the exercise of the franchise. And also we are all bound by the Supreme Court order of 1991 and also the ECI letters of 2014 and 2016, which explicitly state that there should be status quo as of 1991.
Okay.
So all polling stations, all voting arrangements should be as per 1991 Supreme Court order and as per the Election Commission letters of 2014 and 2016. So our state, the neighboring state, we are all bound by that. So this also has been explicitly communicated by the Election Commission to both the states.
All right. And this time around, your office has been deploying music, right? How did that idea come about, sir?
So we know that music is in the DNA of our people here in Meghalaya, and music is synonymous with all sections of society. So we have used music in a substantial way. We have two music videos which we've made. One was made by our state election icon, the 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗀, which is a well-known folk group.
Yes.
And they also sing very meaningful messages. So they have come up with a video called "Vote for Sure," I Vote for Sure, which draws in an assortment of artists across the state, from the Garo Hills as well as from Shillong, from Khasi Jaintia region. So we have them all, getting on to a Meghalaya bazaar bus and traveling through the beautiful rolling uplands of Shillong and basically asking everyone to get on the bus of democracy, and to take a pledge that we should vote for sure because together we soar. That's the lyrics of the music video. And also we know that Election Commission is very committed to ensuring that no voter is to be left behind. So, and with a view to make these elections inclusive and accessible, we also have our state disability icons, who are the Light After Dark, which is Meghalaya's first visually impaired band. And Light After Dark has also been championing the cause of the people with disability. And they've also come up with a very beautiful music video, very moving music video. And we have also been using that to great effect.
I did a little bit of research. There are some unique polling stations as well. Why don't you walk us through some of those, sir?
So Meghalaya, with its beautiful topography and with its hills and with its wonderful nature, will always have some polling stations which are very unique. We have two riverine polling stations. I must share with you that we have about 74 non-motorable polling stations here. And one of the polling stations where the polling team has to trek about 8 kilometers to get in South Garo Hills. They just left early this morning. So apart from that, we have two riverine polling stations. There's this beautiful polling station which you have to use a boat to get across to. It's called Kamsing.
Okay.
And it's located in Amlarem Civil Subdivision in West Jaintia Hills District. And they are a small polling station with only 35 voters, but you have to hop onto a boat to get to that polling station.
Right.
And another polling station on the Indo-Bangladesh border is a polling station called 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗀.
Okay.
Here also you have to use a boat. You have to traverse by boat. So these are our two riverine polling stations. Apart from this, we have a number of polling stations which are located in the Garo Hills area, where you have to cross using makeshift bridges. So we've made elaborate arrangements in respect of counting. We have 13 counting centers in our state, 12 are the district capitals, and one in civil subdivision Sora. And CAPF will be guarding these counting centers. I just had a talk, in fact, with the police just now to review the various arrangements. And elaborate arrangements are in place to ensure that all the arrangements go off smoothly and without any hiccups. And post-poll violence we don't usually have in Meghalaya, but at the same time we will not be complacent. and our sector magistrates and our zonal officers and our police will be on the ground, and they will ensure that there will be no reason to worry in respect of the voters. But I must also touch upon the fact that in terms of seizures, because we had initially 34 expenditure sensitive constituencies here, and this time our enforcement teams comprising of the flying squads and the static surveillance teams and all the enforcement agencies combined, both central and state, have made record seizures. The total seizures up to 2 days ago was almost 71 crores plus, 71 crores, which was 20 times higher than the previous seizures of 2018, which was at 1.15 crores. So this time it's about 71 crores. And out of this, about 35 crores plus is mainly accounted for seizure in narcotics, 35 crores. So in terms of the crackdown and the war on drugs, I think these elections and the regulatory mechanism that have been put in place for the elections has actually had a salutary effect on the crackdown on drugs. Right. So cash seizure is about 7 crore plus. So that way, in terms of seizure, it's quite substantial.
All right, I think you've said a lot. Now, what are some of the challenges that you foresee, though?
The challenges that we foresee, of course, are quite a few of our polling parties. They have to travel huge distances, and coming back and in some places, we've just done a brief survey. We think that in about less than 200 polling stations, maybe about 185 to so, these polling parties will come back beyond 9 p.m. So we will have to ensure there's safe arrival, these 180 plus polling stations, and also in about 440 plus polling stations, we are anticipating that polling will extend much beyond 4 o'clock.